Will 2025 be the year the Spokane housing market shifts and prices go down, or are we going to continue going to the moon? Inventory is changing rapidly, and so we're going to discuss today how that might affect the housing market here in 2025. If you're new to the channel, my name is Haydn Halsted, your local real estate resource here in the Spokane area. My team, the Halsted Home Team, loves helping people move into the area, whether you're moving from across the country or just across the street. We would love to be there for you. You can find out more down in the description, but let's talk about these numbers. So it is the beginning of March here when I'm recording this video, and the numbers for February have come out, and we're going to look at the year-to-date numbers, meaning what has happened just so far this year, January, February, and compare that to January, February for like the last probably 6 or 7 years, and see how we're comparing over the last couple different housing cycles that we've been through. Some of the changes we're seeing so far are quite dramatic, and I'm very interested to see how they affect our housing market going forward this year. So let's take a look here at where we're sitting so far. In a median price, where I use the median because it's the middle number, it's a little bit more accurate because it doesn't get pulled as much as the average does. If we have a bunch of really expensive homes that sell on the high end, or a lot of really low end homes that sell on the low end, the average number can be skewed quite a bit. The median number is purely that middle number. What is the middle house actually selling for? So that median number right now is $415,000 for 2025, January, February. And so it's actually interesting because we've talked on this channel a lot about how prices really peaked in 2022 and then have come down and flattened out. And that did kind of happen, but in January, February, the last couple of years, we've actually started the year hotter than we did in 2022 because we saw that huge ramp up in the first half of the year, and then we saw a big drop off in the second half of the year. So far, 415,000, higher than it's been the last really higher than it's been since 2018. So we're seeing on a monthly level here, January, February, that we're starting the year off with higher prices than any year prior. So now I'm gonna get into one of the more shocking stats here, and it's the number of new listings coming to the market, and then we'll look at pendings and closed and kind of see what that trail is looking like right now. And then we'll end with month supply of inventory, which is the factor of how many homes sold versus how many are on the market. And so looking at the number of new listings, we have seen a very rapid increase. Just a lot of houses hit the market, more than any year since 2018, the numbers that we have on this chart here. So we had an 8% increase from last year where we had 1,350 homes hit the market. Now we've increased by about 110 properties, which is just crazy. Even just to think when the market was really hot, 2021 especially, we have 300 more homes hitting the market. Part of that is because a lot of these are carrying over from the year prior. They didn't sell in 2024. They canceled at the beginning of the year, and now they've relisted. And so we're now having this compounding effect of listings that haven't sold for a long period of time. So quite the drastic difference from 2021 through 2023, but we're on par with where we were in 2020, and then specifically back to 2018, where I've been saying that we're experiencing a more normal market right now, which like 2017 through 2019 was a more normal balanced market. It was fair for both buyers and sellers. Deals were happening on the buy side. Some sellers were getting multiple offers on the sell side. And that's what we're seeing right now. It really just depends on the house, but some buyers are getting a lot of incentives. Other buyers are running into having to compete for multiple offers. Some sellers are sitting on the market for months and months. Some sellers are selling within 7 days. So it really just depends on the house, the pricing, all those things that factor into it, the locations especially as well. So sometimes no matter how much we look at the data, if we can't even tell how the house is going to perform, it's just hard to gamble. Even if we price it super well, sometimes it just seems like it's going to sit on the market no matter what we do. So to repeat, we've had 1,465 homes hit the market so far this year. And now we're going to look at how many have gone pending, how many have accepted an offer so far. Only 965. So we have about a 500 home gap there. Let's call it roughly 2/3 of homes have gone under contract. 1/3 of homes are still sitting on the market right now, but we're seeing more activity than we have the last few years. 2023, only 884 homes were pending in the first 2 months of the year. So we're actually picking up, we're seeing more deals be put together, but it's not necessarily keeping up with that amount of listings that have hit the market. The difference between 2024 to 2025, let's say 2024, we had seen that there was about 1,350 homes that had hit the market, new listings by this time. 900 had gone pending at that time. And now we've had an increase of 64 homes. So between 2024 and 2025, we've seen an increase of about 65 homes go pending in those first 2 months. And on the new listing side, there was about 100. So again, about 2/3 2/3 going under contract and 1/3 staying on the market. So the market doesn't necessarily feel that different between 2024 and 2025 because we have the same ratio of pendings to solds. About 2/3 of homes went pending in 2024, same as 2025, about 2/3 of homes went pending. So market's not really changed that much. It just looks like more activity, more buyers and sellers decided to jump into the market equally. And so then to look at closed sales, we are starting the year off hotter than we were previously. We have 738 homes sold so far in 2025, which is almost a 5% increase from last year, an additional, 33 properties from the year prior, and then almost up 90 home sales from 2023. So now, like I said, it's not necessarily that we're seeing this big change in the market. It feels kind of the same, but it's because we've had a balance of buyers and sellers equally entering the market with new listings and wanting to buy stuff. So really what we're experiencing right now is just kind of this compounding effect of homes that had been unsold for months prior and then starting to stack new listings on top of them. And so what we're just seeing now is just active inventory being at a high for the last handful of years. We're at 1486. That's the number of residential houses and condos on the market currently. That's up 21% from last year. And then obviously a rapid increase, like active inventory in 2021 was 418. So it was super low. And the way they get this number is this is the number of properties that are still for sale at the end of every single month. So as you can see, we are very similar to what we were 2018, 2019. Inventory is just rising rapidly. And so for buyers, there are just a lot more choices out there, but I've discovered recently that's causing a little confusion in the buyer process right now. So there are some buyers that want to look at absolutely everything. I was talking to a realtor that had shown a buyer almost 50 homes and they still hadn't written an offer. And to me, that is way too many properties to look at. What we really try to do, especially here at my team, is we try to get so specific about what it is that you're looking for. We really try to disqualify as many properties as possible, because even if the property has the perfect kitchen, everything's updated, it's beautiful, but it's on, I don't know, it has a 1-car garage versus a 2-car garage, and you know in the back of your mind that it's going to irk you, or that's actually just a non-negotiable, something simple like that, then we don't go look at the house, because the house is not going to convince you to buy it. You have to be convinced already. Like, you have to look at the listing description and say, this checks all the boxes. I don't have to convince myself to like this house. I already know that I like it. And the reason we do that is because I've found that the more homes I show a buyer, the less fun the process becomes, and the more all the homes look the same, they don't have that special wow factor to them. And it's just hard to feel at home when you felt so many houses and none of them have felt right. So that warm fuzzy feeling just goes away completely. So that's my recommendation. If you're looking at buying a house anytime soon, I just look at getting as specific as possible about what your non-negotiables are for your price range, obviously within reason, because you can't necessarily ask for the mansion on a small budget. That's not going to happen. So obviously within reason for your price point. But on the flip side, I have seen a lot of buyers give up amazing opportunities right now because they think the next house is just around the corner that's going to be the best one. Like, my team showed a buyer a house this past weekend that was an amazing price. The house is in great condition. It's at 305, like super cheap in our market, and it was in very good condition. And the buyers just felt like they were asking questions like, would the seller come down on the price, or like, could we lowball them and stuff? And that was a situation where we were honest and we're like, absolutely, like, no, this isn't. We said upfront, this is going to sell within 2 days, and it did, and it sold with multiple offers above the asking price. So there are houses out there that are still going to sell above the asking price with competition. And so if you're looking for a deal on the market, so are a dozen other buyers, and they're ready to jump on it. And so I'm saying go make the deals. Find the houses that maybe are a little overpriced and offer below the asking price. Get your concessions taken care of. Get all the repairs taken care of. You're in the position of leverage. Don't necessarily wait for that perfect house to show up, because as soon as it does, all the buyers are going to jump on it at the same time. As for my thoughts about how this might affect Spokane's housing market, I think as inventory is rising, it is possible that prices are going to continue to flatten. I really would be surprised if we went back to Spokane's peak high in May of 2022 at an average of 460,000. So I think we're going to continue having problems with people having low equity for the remainder of this year. And it's going to be a slow burn trying to get back up to those 2021 highs for people to then be in a better position that bought at that time. Interest rates will continue to be a massive issue here in Spokane. We're all hoping that they can kind of settle into the mid to low sixes and maybe even with some points get down into the high fives. I know for me and a handful of other clients and investors specifically that have really high interest rates on investment properties that would love to be able to refinance out of the rates they currently have. So on this channel, I'll keep you up to date on a monthly basis on what the Spokane's market is doing. So if that's important to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the like bell, and leave me a comment down below if you're moving to the Spokane area later this year. We'd love to help you out. Thanks so much for watching. Reach out to my team using the link down below, and I'll see you in the next video.